2 years ago today, I applied for and was approved for my very first American Express credit card. And that card is the Delta SkyMiles American Express Gold card. When I applied for the card, it had a elevated welcome offer of 70,000 Delta SkyMiles after spending $3,000 in the first 6 months. Also, too, in the first year of holding the card, there's no annual fee. But then going forward, there would be a $95 annual fee charged. Now, going back to when I got this card 2 years ago to now, it was announced last year that the annual fee on a lot of different Delta cards was going to go up. And on this card, it was one of them. So the annual fee was increased from $95 to $150. So going into year one, and I did a video on this last year, and I'll put a link to it in the description below. But in my first year review, I got fortunate because I had applied for the card in February of 23. It was renewing in February of 24, and the annual fee increase wasn't occurring until like April or May of last year. So I got grandfathered into the $95 annual fee, which I had no problem paying and keeping the card. Now we're into year two, and in a month or so, the $150 annual fee is going to post. And in today's video, we're going to talk about, does this card still make sense to hold on to with that $150 annual fee? So let's dive into this. So first of all, the card, we'll talk about the card's earning structure. It's not great. It's not, you're not going to jump up and, you know, shake pom poms and celebrate. But the card's earning categories are 2x on restaurants, 2x on US supermarket purchases, 2x on Delta SkyMiles, or 2x on Delta purchases, and 1x on everything else. So again, not anything to celebrate and write home about. Now, if you are rocking this card though, and you're a Delta loyalist and you want a cheap card but with some decent benefits, and you're rocking this card, this could be a benefit for someone that's doing that. One of the perks of the card is if you spend 10K on this card a year, you will get a $200 Delta flight credit. So again, for someone that's going to rock one card, they would benefit from the Delta flight credit of $200. I myself am not that person. I have too many other cards that give me way more points and have more benefits uh, to spend that much money on this card. So for me, that benefit does not speak to me at all. However, the next two things at a minimum make this card interesting, and at most make it a keeper card. So first and foremost is, if you have this card, you are able to take 15% off of the normal amount of points when booking travel through the Delta account. So in your Delta account, if you're booking a travel with points, and say you're booking a flight that's 40,000 Delta Sky Miles as an example, well, with Take 15, you would actually use 15% less of your points to book that trip. And I think that's a super cool feature. Now, the one thing that I think is super cool about this card is Delta Stays. They introduced Delta Stays when they increased the annual fee last year, and this credit is super easy to use. So on this card, it's a $100 credit when you book a stay with Delta Stays. I used this credit last year. I had to go out of town for a graduation in May of last year, and I used the Delta Stays portal to book the room for the night, and it was super easy. And the good thing about it is that the cost between the hotel's website and the cost of the Delta Stays portal price, it was literally like a $2 or $3 difference in price. I know sometimes portals, it really depends on what you're looking at. Sometimes the price could be lower than the hotel site. Sometimes it can be right on par. Sometimes it can be elevated. In this case here, I consider $2 or $3 more for a stay to be basically break even. So I booked the room with Delta Stays using the Delta SkyMiles Gold card, and think the credit actually hit my account like the next day. It had like the charge hadn't even cleared yet, and the credit was already there. So a super easy credit to use. Now, I know what you're going to say, but John, the $100 credit doesn't cover the entire $150 annual fee. And you would be right. It does not cover the entire annual fee. So you're not breaking even on this card as far as the annual fee goes. However, if you're booking with this card, your first checked bag on every flight that you take is free. And Delta charges $35 for the first checked bag. So just one flight, if you're flying to and from a place and you check your bag, that's $70 round trip. And that right there covers the annual fee of the card and then some. And then if you're booking with the card, several times a year, you're just stacking the first check bag free over time. So, say you're traveling 4 or 5 times a year, you know, it would normally cost you, $70 to check a bag round trip. That adds up quick. And I think these two things, the take 15 and the check bag uh, perk of getting the first check bag free with the Delta Stays credit that's so easy to use, make this card for me a keeper easily. I will easily break even on this card, if not get outsized value for holding the card. And that's all I had for you guys and ladies. Tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. I'm really curious to hear what you'll have to say about it. Also, too, I am making the march toward my first 1,000 subscribers. So if you have not already done so, please subscribe to my channel, and also click the like button down below if you haven't already as well. Those are two free things that you can do to support my channel and get it visible to more people just like yourself. I thank you ahead of time. Also, too, I do have a membership to the channel. It is $1.99 a month. You can cancel it at any time, but if you want to support the channel more by becoming a member, I appreciate that as well. And I'm working on things. I have a couple of things in the works to make the membership more meaningful. But if you do join beforehand, I appreciate your support, and I thank you ahead of time. Now, please go be good to each other, okay? And until next time, bye for now.